Hey, hi, how are you? Long time no see. Some stuff on my mind. Figured I'd share a bit. Maybe, you and I could piece some stuff together. Um, in history, there have been a lot of really nasty things done. Rape and pillage and plunder and maim and murders and sacrifices and this and that and whatever. And I mean, even in your history, or my history's case, maybe there have been people who have used and abused and betrayed and manipulated and so on and so on and so on. And then there's us, of course. There's you and there's I. You know what all these have in common? People. All those horrific things throughout history were done by people. All those things that were done to you were done by people. And guess what? You, in fact, are a people. True thing. So am I. I'm a people. Oh, but I would never. Oh, yes, you would. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be hateful or anything. I certainly don't want to be hateful towards myself, but the truth is we all have that potential. I mean, let's face it, we've all had thoughts, but we didn't necessarily go through with them, but the thoughts were there. Our heart went there. And by the way, when I say heart, I don't mean that thing that goes, we're talking about that part of you that is in your core that controls your thoughts and your emotions and what you speak out of and who you are and how you act and how you think and how you treat other people and so on and so on and so on. But yeah, people all did those horrible things to other people. People all did those horrible things to you. People like you. And we're all the same. We all have that same heart of things. Whether we act on it or not is a different story. Did you ever stop to think about that? If you haven't, you probably should. Because, I mean, nobody came, waltzing out of the womb, blah, 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 blah. Not that, they waltz out of the womb, but you don't understand. Thinking, I can't wait to hurt somebody. Can't wait to use them and manipulate and lie and cheat and steal and take from them. Nobody waltzed up doing that. Nobody learned to walk and talk when they were, this high, and said that. Somewhere along the way, it became. I mean, let's face it, even once upon a time, Hitler was a cute little kid, I'm sure. Didn't end up that way in the end, but, to use the, the more modern, nasty example, but I mean, historically, there's probably been people at least as bad or worse, right? But yeah, people. I tend to end these things saying that, we're all in this together, and we really are. We're all on a very equal footing here, a very equal playing field. The Bible says that the heart is wicked and deceitful beyond all things. It also says, that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. We've got no room, if we're honest about the darkness in our own heart, to look at anybody else and judge them. To think of them as less than. Because the only way we can do that is if you are more than. In order to successfully judge, you have to be here and they have to be here. But we're all here. Now that doesn't mean what somebody has done to you or has done to somebody else or historically has done whatever is justified. No. Definitely not. There's no justification for things like that. But taking the stance that, oh, I would never, or I'm this, or I'm that, I'm not like them, if you're, let's say you're Christian, the best that gives you is religion. True enough, because you can't have everything else if you think you're better. Because the only one that's better than you is Jesus. The only one that's better than them is Jesus. Period. Not you. They're not better, and they're not better than you either. The most amazing person you know is just as vile as you are. And the most vile person you know is no better off than you, and you're no better than them. It's just kind of a little sobering thought to take a step back and look at the darkness in your own heart and realize, you know what? Yeah. It's like I say, you've thought things that you didn't act on, right? And there's all kinds of things you've done that nobody else knows about. I can say that because I know it's true for me, and I'm a people, and you're a people. And we're all in this together. And a side note, though, it does make the grace of God a whole lot more interesting, doesn't it? You stop and realize just how black your own heart really is. You start to get a little handle on that whole, what that whole crucifixion thing did for you. Something to think about, I guess. Well, what's the big deal though if you have a, you know, if I think I'm a little better than this person or that person, whatever, and I'm not as bad, what's wrong with that? Well, among other things, it makes things like empathy and compassion almost completely impossible. The best you've got there is pity. And I can't speak for you, but as for me, I don't need your pity. There have been times I've needed compassion and empathy, but yeah, pity I can go without. So, it doesn't hurt to stop and take a look at the darkness in your own heart once in a while, but don't get caught up with it. Don't think, oh, it's there, so I might as well act on it. No. Definitely not saying that. Following the darkness of your own heart is not going to lead you anywhere good. Just putting it out there. Anyways, like I say, just some thoughts. And as I say, we are all in this together, right? Just some stuff to think about.